market ourselves and be on brand. It's
I had the door open because I half expected you to jog through the
I know. He's like, where's
through the entrance.
Oh,
there he is.
jogging from home or something.
So
Should have ran here, that would have been better.
I did not say that. I said, do you think you'll run here today?
I'm surprised, like, yeah.
We'll have to kick it off straight away with me and Dan have been saying, how do you pronounce his
How do you
name?
pronounce your name? Well, we're kind of, I'm like, I kind of go straight into the show.
I'll go straight to Leo.
One guess each. Go on.
Leodhais.
No.
I try to sound posh there.
Since you got it wrong now, I was going to say what you said. Now I've got to say something different.
I have to answer first. That's the key. Even if you're wrong.
So you said Leodhais, didn't you? Leodhais.
But I try to put like a...
It's just Lewis.
Really?
Yeah, it is just
Oh,
Lewis.
Where's your name from?
So it's Scottish. So it's almost like Scottish-Irish.
You were right.
Yeah.
Alice said, is he Irish, Scottish?
Yeah. So my parents are... Well, my dad's from sort of right up in the Western Isles, which is where that sort of comes from.
Okay.
My mum's from Glasgow, so...
All right, okay.
They thought, yeah, they'll do me one over and give me a name like that.
It's actually a lovely name, to be fair. I must say, now that I know how to say it. Yeah.
You know, it's like a Siobhan with a B.
Yeah.
If you've never heard, or if you've only seen it written down, you're like, Siobhan?
Yeah.
Siobhan? Do you mean? And then you go, no, Siobhan.
Siobhan. Yeah, I've tried it.
Siobhan.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's spelled, isn't it?
It's the same language.
Do you get that all the time? Do people try and shorten your name to Leo and you're like, nope,
I just
that's
accept
not
it.
Do you?
Do you really?
If someone says Leo, I would still respond.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's hard not to offend, and normally all the time you just shorten it by default, but you try not to. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of I think people should just ask. Sorry.
Yeah. Even today, I was in a meeting with work, and they did like around the room introductions, and it was on a Teams call. And he went around the room, but he did it in a really weird order. I thought, he's left my name till last because he wants to avoid it. And he did. He got to the very end. He was like, I just interrupted him. I just helped him. That's Lewis, mate.
Rather than just saying to you, how do you pronounce your name?
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
There's not many at all.
Spelling,
No.
so, but that's a good thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But it must be,
We've got a family complicated name. So my daughter's name is Xanthi with an X. Always gets people.
Right.
So it's a Greek name. But people always say Xanthi. Oh, Xanthi, like the island. And I go, no, Xanthi. Xanthi is the silent X.
I thought you were going to say they got the X. They were going to try and pronounce the X because Xanthi starts with an X, doesn't it?
So it's in Greece, I think it's like it's a Xanthi.
Right, okay.
My father-in-law's going to kill me for that. Like,
Really?
I didn't say it right at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Xanthi, like the island. No, just Xanthi.
Yeah.
Xanthi. My son is Panagiotis is his middle name,
Oh, wow.
which is his Greek granddad's
Yeah,
name.
a lot of people do think my name looks a bit Greek.
Well, that's what I thought when I first saw it.
Is that because the OIS and that kind of OIS or iOS?
It's Leodhais.
Oh, DH, that's the H, man. Yeah, that's the thing.
That was the bit. Yeah.
That's it. That's what's going to change it.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Who would have thought we'd start off talking about names?
That's great. No, fantastic.
Yeah. Really appreciate you coming on.
Really,
I
thank you.
had a
Yeah.
feeling that maybe inundated by people asking you to do stuff like this.
Not particularly. I mean, when I was finishing the marathons, it was very hectic, and even just people wanting to come on runs, and it was a bit manic, media stuff. But after finishing, I've had a bit of time to chill out, and I feel like I'm busy just as ever. So I'm a few podcasts, trying to put together a bit of a documentary.
Okay.
I saw that online. I saw it on your social media because I was like, you must have had somebody filming you from the off. Was that right?
So from about maybe 2/3 onwards. So I did most of the filming to begin with, and then someone got involved about 2/3 the way in.
Well,
That's
they just
all right,
approached
'cause
you, did
yeah.
they? And then said,
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's all right because you've got stuff anyway. So
yeah,
it's
I was
really
doing
handy that
films
you're doing
every
that.
day. Yeah. So we'll see what it's like.
You popped up and because Dan, you spotted the story, didn't you? And say,
Well,
this guy's running from Newcastle to New
Yeah.
York.
I'm going to shout out because Sharon, there's a girl I've worked with, lady Sharon, sent me your profile and said, you got to talk to this lad.
Right.
So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So I started following. I couldn't believe what you were doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing. We need to know the story because we do, obviously, our world is stories as well.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm just intrigued to know why you're doing this. So please, if you'd like to discuss why did this all kick off?
Unfortunately, in 2018, I lost my brother, my big brother Conor, to suicide. I was 18 at the time, and he was 21. I've always ran my whole life. Ever since I was young, I've ran competitively and also just for the enjoyment of going for a run.
Yeah.
And then obviously lost my brother to suicide. 6.5 years on, I kind of felt I was in the position to maybe do something like an endurance challenge to raise money for charity, but I never ever felt like I could really do it. And to be honest, never really spoke about my brother. Never really, even with friends and family, didn't really speak about my brother. So it got to a point where I just thought, you know what, stuff it, I'm just going to do this challenge. And it was probably between November of last year, I sort of had the idea in the back of my head and then started telling a few people. I think it got to the point where I told enough people where I kind of had to do it now.
Can't get out, yeah.
So then I decided I wanted to run the distance between Newcastle to New York. So Conor's dream was to live in New York City.
Right, okay.
He'd been sort of 6 or 7 times before he'd passed, but it was his dream to live there, work there. So that's kind of where that came about. And then I just divided the distance, Newcastle to New York, by marathons, and it came to 128. It was actually 127.4. But I thought, well, I can't do 127, so I'll just do 128. So I did 128 and started on January the 25th and finished on what would have been Conor's 28th birthday on the 2nd of June.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where all the numbers came together and why I did 128 marathons.
Did you target that date as well?
That date, yeah. So yeah, I guess just sort of started doing these marathons definitely with a bit of naivety, had no idea what I was getting myself in for. And yeah, that was kind of how the idea came around, really.
Can I ask a question? So do you know you mentioned that you hadn't really talked about it when he passed and what had happened? Was that did it kind of feel like your therapy, like what you would?
Well, running had always been a bit of therapy for me, definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was. There must have been something deep down that knew that I needed to do this.
Yeah.
And everyone that I told my mum, my dad. My dad didn't talk to me for like 3 days because he was so worried about what it might do to me in terms of, I mean, marathon a day is humongous. So, but there was just something inside me that thought I need to do this, and it quickly became apparent that the actual running the marathons was not really the challenge anymore. The marathons became quite minute. And it was me just doing these little daily videos and talking to people when I was on my runs, or even doing little things like this podcast and things where I started talking about my brother, started talking about what happened. People would ask me questions about my brother. And before I knew it, like, not only my life was transformed, but everyone around me, like, I was starting to talk about Conor and talk about what had happened, but in a healthy way. And I'd be sat at the dinner table with my mum and dad and we'd be talking about it, but in a nice way, and it just felt really, really sort of quite cathartic. Really.
So it stopped feeling like an elephant in the room.
Million
it was
percent.
the thing that you brought.
It was almost forced out. Yeah.
It's a hard subject to talk about, and I think you have to talk about it, but in a way. I mean, we've mentioned before, it's the light and the dark, and you've got to revisit the memories, but the good memories, because that's how you remember Conor, is by the good memories, and they'll all come out and everybody will have a good story and everybody have a nice story. But then you can actually address the subject of suicide as well.
Definitely.
Because it's, I mean, because there was somebody, you know, from yesterday, this is like pretty close to home, but a guy who I saw pick up his kids at my school, he was found dead yesterday. So it's quite it's happening all of the time, right? Yeah. And I think people need to be more aware of it. And we know people who run men's mental health clubs, and they're setting these things up because there's no immediate places for people to go, right, to get help. So everyone's doing their bit, do you know what I mean? And they're trying. And I think the more we talk about it, the easier it's going to become, you know?
Definitely. And I quickly realised, you know, me just doing these little videos, talking about my own mental health, talking about my experience with suicide, talking about my brother, the amount of people that would come up to me or message me online and say, oh, by the way, you know, I lost whoever, or I lost X to suicide, and watching your videos has helped me through the last couple of months. Or on the final day, I had a little boy come up to me and he'd lost his dad to suicide like 2 months ago, and he'd said, oh, you're my biggest inspiration. And it's like, at that point, I realised how impactful it was, not just on me, not just on mum and dad, but just being able to talk about it so openly is massive.
Yeah.
And it really does help.
Well, because this is a subject that's come up on this podcast loads of times.
Yeah.
And we talk about mental health, but I think we'd like to think we've moved on a lot in the last 20, 30 years. And I know we have from like whether you're in a commercial world or you work in your profession, we talk about mental health in a very sort of sanitized way.
Yeah.
Mental health first aiders and looking after yourself,
well-being,
but it's
kind
still...
of thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
definitely.
Yeah.
Totally. But all of the heavy stuff, things that are happening around us every minute of the day, like suicide is for instance, it's still a taboo subject to lots of people. So no matter how much they want to talk about it, they don't.
It's even, I even find people don't even like to say the word.
No, they don't.
It's actually not even a nice word to say.
I tell you what, the issue is as well. I've got a right by me bonnet about it. It gets flagged up on YouTube. If you mention the word that and mention death, it gets flagged.
Well, we had an example, didn't we? Recently, we had somebody on the podcast who had an experience of suicide or an attempt. Yeah. And it didn't get picked up by YouTube.
Yeah.
So
we had clips.
Put the post out to talk about it.
One get flagged, and it was a serious conversation from a Storyland series that we do, and it actually got flagged and got taken down. And I've seen the clips. If you mention one of these words, the clip just doesn't go anywhere. If everything else is averaging like 500 to 1,000, and then this one gets 1 or 2, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
And then you look in, well, what's the wordage in there? But I'm like, why can't we say these words? You should be allowed to speak, because if you're putting a filter on it, how is anybody going to get the voice out there?
Definitely. I always just see it as a bit of a domino effect, really. If any of us on the sofa start to talk about how we feel, then those closest to us will hopefully do the same. Mm-hmm. Often if you tell someone, I'm feeling rubbish, they'd be like, do you know what? I feel crap as well.
Yeah.
And I definitely found that from doing the marathons.
That's because you're real and it's lived experience. It's not it's not coming from work or it's not coming from a GP. It's coming from a person in a community who's got a direct experience of something, and that has a value to people.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, did you feel like what you were doing kind of now it's taken a life of its own? Do you know what I mean? You started, but it's a bigger thing, so you have to go through the task now. Yeah?
Almost, yeah. I mean, it's just became something that I never ever thought it would. I mean, originally my goal was to raise £10,000. Yeah. And I thought I was being ambitious. Mm-hmm. So it just morphed into something that I never ever anticipated. And I just thought it was, for the majority of doing the marathons, it was just me out there every day, not really thinking about who was watching. Mm-hmm. And it probably wasn't until the last couple of weeks where I started to realise that it's pretty massive. Not nationally or anything like that, but just within even the local community. Mm-hmm. It was making people talk, and it was sparking conversations at dinner tables and between families, and I just think that's amazing, really.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way of doing it, because you're doing something around a subject, but it's not just in people's faces.
And I think I do genuinely think that's a massive side of it for men to be able to. So for men, really, it's not. We don't want to go somewhere, sit down and talk to someone random about our feelings and tell someone how we're feeling. But if you're on a run or you're in the gym and you're with your mates and you talk, it just feels a bit more natural. And I just think there's that sort of element to it where you're building in exercise, you're building in a bit of normality, and it just makes it seem a lot easier to open up.
I think it's how we're built. I mean, we work with there's charities and organisations that we know, like Men's Pie Club, like that. They're doing really good work, but it was pulled together because of this. Men can't operate in a sort of forced, unnatural environment. Mm-hmm. So if they're doing something functional or they're doing something collectively together, it just teases out conversation rather than force it out. And you often find that, I mean, we do it when we're talking together. We often just start going quite deep about what we're thinking about and feelings. Yeah. Because it's just, we're active and doing things together, and it comes out naturally.
Yeah. But I think it's just giving people opportunities and spaces to do that. Like James at Space Northeast, they just go for a walk, Yeah. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a one-to-one, but it can be if you need it. Yeah. And there's always, it's people there to signpost you to the right people. But I mean, but it's a massive feat in yourself. You're doing this thing. Was there any kind of like, oh shit, I've got to do this? Do you know what I mean? Was any doubt?
Definitely. Definitely. So I always describe it as like almost two journeys. So there's obviously the actual physical doing the marathons was extremely daunting. And, you know, I put myself out there saying I'm going to do 128 marathons. There's definitely an element of, have I set myself up to fail here? Am I actually going to be able to do it? Because you can't really train for something like that.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, how close to you were physically to being ready for it? Like, how much were you running beforehand?
As ready as you can ever be, really. I mean, I've ran my whole life, so I was running maybe like 30, 40 miles a week, maximum 50, continuously for years.
All right. Yeah.
So then on the build up to it, I maybe got up to about 100 miles a week.
Yeah.
And I was doing like double marathons on the weekend and training just to see how the body would cope.
Yeah.
But then it also got to the point where I'm thinking, I'm doing 100 miles a week here. In the actual challenge itself, I'm going to be doing 186. I should just start it rather than messing around with all these miles in training. I may as well just go for it.
Like, I'm
killing myself in training to do all these miles when
it's lost numbers, isn't it?
It's lost numbers, exactly.
Right.
So,
you're completely right, yeah.
And I'd spoke to a few people online who'd done similar things. So there's a guy who did a marathon every day for a year. So that kind of made me think, well, if he can do it for a year, I can do it for 128 days. So that was the only guy that I'd found sort of within this country.
Who was that again?
James Cooper.
I think I might have
So
clocked
he did
him.
it
He
for
was a bit of
Samaritans.
press about him as well, wasn't it?
And then there was a lady in the States, and she did 100 marathons in 100 days. But she's an amputee and she had one leg.
Oh, really?
So I thought, well, come on, Lewis, if she's doing that, get your act together, you can do 128. So I probably found the worst two people to make me then think that I could do it.
The path of most resistance.
But there's one thing that I always share about the marathons is that what I told myself from day one was that I created the idea. And it sounds a bit cliche, but because my brain created the idea meant that it was possible to me. So I used to tell myself, you know, you haven't created an idea of, for example, breaking the world record for the fastest marathon, or I don't know, like living on the moon. That's not an idea in my brain because it's not possible.
Yeah.
So I felt like my subconscious has created this only because it's possible.
It's a really interesting way to look at it. Yeah.
And it sounds cliche now saying it, but at the time, it really got me through some of those days where I was thinking, hang on a minute, can I actually do this?
Yeah, because you subconsciously set a target for yourself. Like you must have known you were capable.
Must have known I was capable.
Yeah. You know, even at a stretch, you would have known.
My subconscious wouldn't have set a target for 2,000 marathons in 2,000 days. Because that's...
Is that next year?
That's a bit, that's the rest of my life. But that's a bit out there.
Yeah.
But 128 and 128, that's just how I decided, you know what, let's crack on, let's do it. And that's what kept me going when I thought, crap, this is going to get a bit nasty.
Yeah. There's so many questions I want to ask you because like there's the physical bit, there's the logistics of it. You know, like you're traveling, you're sleeping, where do you sleep, what you're eating, how you're doing it.
Yeah.
There's just so much to...
Support team is the one. Funding, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Shoes, have you got spares? Do you know what I mean? It's all these things, isn't it?
So logistics-wise was probably one of the hardest things. So I was working full-time. Work Monday to Friday, sort of 8:30 till 4:30, so I guess 9 till 5. Primarily from home, which does help. But I work away about twice a month.
Right.
So I work in the nuclear industry, so travel around the country, really going to different nuclear sites. So logistically, trying to cook, trying to eat, trying to run a marathon and trying to work and trying to recover and trying to sleep was like a constant battle of, right, I'm probably not going to get enough sleep tonight, but I will get enough calories. Yeah. Or tomorrow.
You're trading off things.
Constantly trading off. Yeah. So what I would usually do is wake up about 4:30, get some form of cereal, toast, whatever, something in me just to last me. I'd then do a half marathon before work, get home.
Just that sentence and it's all right. Honestly, you hear that? Just I just chucked in a half marathon before I went to work.
I'd aim to get home for about 8 o'clock, which would then give me time to get a bit of like a second breakfast, protein shake, whatever, as much as I could get in, shower. In fact, I lie, not even often I wouldn't shower because I knew I'd be going back out in the evening. Yeah. So I'd sit at my desk. If I was working from home, I'd sit at my desk, do a day's work. Days where I'd had a nap on a lunch break if I felt like I needed a half hour.
Yeah.
And then obviously cooking and eating and then finish at 4:30 and I'd aim to just be out the door by 4:45. Do another half marathon, get home for about 7 o'clock, have my tea. If there was any recovery that I could do, I would do it. Hot bath, stretching, foam rolling. Yeah. And then it would be get to bed, ready to do it for the next day. And that was it for 6 months. So it was pretty
That
bonkers,
takes some
really.
commitment, mate.
Yeah.
That is
Really?
incredible.
In terms of commitment, it was just like no friends, no family, no meals out,
Yeah, you're locked in there.
girlfriend, fiance, and see you later. But that was just what I had to do. So if people wanted to maybe socialise, they would come on a run. And it became, on the weekends, I would do the full
I
marathon.
was going to say, what was weekends like?
So
Did you do
weekends I
two
would
or-
get up, I would do the full marathon
Right, okay.
as soon as I could.
Right.
So if I could get up at 5 and do it by 6, I'd be finished before 11.
Yeah.
And that meant I had at least some form of daylight to kind of
Yeah.
maybe go for lunch or...
But you need recovery as well, because you're just going to
know.
break down. And was
Definitely.
that a worry at some point of like, what you must have had issues, because everybody does. I know you're young.
Yeah.
You're an old fella talking to a young person there. That I know it's coming, or I know you're going to suffer with something, because
Oh,
every
1,000,000%,
athlete does.
1,000,000%.
You never escape it, you know.
No, definitely had a few issues. I mean, my knees, I had sciatica down my backs of my legs. My feet were constantly swollen. So I actually had struggled with shoes and blisters.
Right.
So I had to go up a size, and Hoka do a wide fitting, and they also do an extra wide.
Okay.
So I had size 11 extra wide, because my feet were just like swollen to like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Did you test the trainers before? Did you know what you needed to wear?
I did,
or-
and I thought I was going to be able to wear the trainers that I usually wore, but quickly realised within the first week my feet were just a mess.
Yeah.
So that's when I started wearing Hokas, and I wore them throughout. So once I'd found a shoe that worked,
And that was kind of working for you, was
that
it?
worked, and I just kept
Really?
it throughout.
Yeah.
I wore the same shoe, and I changed my trainers every 600 miles, which is about every 3 weeks. So I was changing trainers every sort of 24 days.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Any? Did you do anything special? Did you get a little ice bath for your feet, or what did you?
I used to put,
Yeah.
I actually got a little foot spa, and it had like bubbles, and it used to heat up, and I'd just stick my feet in there in the evening, and it would be nice.
Sounds like it was bliss, wasn't it? That sounds like the best thing ever. Like we'll have a hot and cold one.
Yeah.
Right. Get the swelling down. Get the blood flow. Get the swelling down.
Yeah,
Get the blood flow.
definitely. And
Aye.
people, I mean, everyone used to tell me, "Oh, you need to do an ice bath. You need to do an ice bath." I'd challenge anyone to go run a marathon and then tell themselves they're going to get in cold water.
Yeah.
It's like you've just got all the energy from your body zapped,
Yeah.
and you
probably
don't
too
have
much
that
shock as
like,
well after a
But
marathon.
you're not supposed to do it after. You're supposed
Yeah,
to
you
do it before.
before,
do you know
aren't
what I mean?
you?
But,
Yes.
but you can't do it before then run. You need before a little bit of warm up and then kind of get through
so
it.
it's
So
just logistically trying to fit in recovery tools like that. I'm sure ice baths would have been great,
Yeah.
but I didn't really do them, if I'm honest.
yeah. I mean, but did you need it? Clearly, you didn't. You know, what did
Yeah.
you? What was something that you did need? Obviously, it's a combination of everything: the foam roll and the feet
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But what was it that you was unexpected? Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get at that.
Yeah,
Anything-
so I mean, the injuries that came up, although they were expected, I was guaranteed it was going to be painful. But yeah, the injuries that cropped up, I kept getting, knees were aching, sort of IT band down the side,
okay.
and I got, luckily there was a local physio in North Shields where
I was
I'm,
going to say, did you get physios? Yeah.
Sean Maley, who
Right.
works literally across the road from where I live.
You're from North Shields as well.
Yeah.
Everything goes back in North Shields.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Sean.
Yeah.
Anyway, well done. Good lad. Yeah.
And he gave me 1 hour a week
Nice.
throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like a weekly reset, you know,
Yeah.
or if I had any issues, he would tend to those and
Yeah.
kept me going. I mean, I'd say I couldn't have done it without that weekly check-in with a physio. It massively helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing. Isn't it?
It's just massive. I've got more questions every second. So when you approach the run, the state side of it, the logistics of that, of like flying out to New York and taking as many trainers as you could, and all the business, like the planning the route and the.
Oh,
like,
right, I see. So I'd never actually...
I didn't act.
I've actually just done it every day from my home.
Right,
'Cause I'm
okay.
still at-
So what were the routes then?
So it was like the equivalent distance. So I was just working
Okay.
virtually to New York. So every day I was from my home back to my home.
Jesus Christ, that's even harder.
House,
Yeah.
aye, yeah.
So were you doing the same route?
I did for the first couple of weeks, and then it started to get to me where I was going a bit
That's what I'm
insane.
wondering. So yeah.
It gets boring a bit, doesn't
So
it?
I
I know
used to
you're a
just
long
go-
distance runner, but like,
So relatively live near the coast. I'd just go along the coast and back, along the coast and back. And before I knew it, I was just going mental. I couldn't
That's
do
tough
it anymore.
going, that.
So I did try and mix it up a little bit. But then I was factoring in, I don't want to be doing too many hills. I want routes that are kind of gentle on the legs. So I just, again, balancing act of.
You must have seen the same. I'm imagining, like Rocky goes out every morning and everyone's waving, oh, morning.
That's what I was thinking before when he said a community.
Yeah, definitely.
People chucking oranges and that.
Because you're doing the thing every day for 6 months, right? You've got to have people lining up the road sometimes,
A lot of people also go out running at the same time, so I'd often see other runners. And as I got through the challenge, people were like, they'd be running along and be like, do you mind if I join you?
Yeah.
And I felt like Forrest Gump at times. Could have like people, I'd be running on the coast and people just kept joining in. It was good. It was good to keep you company, really.
It's good as motivation, but obviously sometimes you get locked in. You might not be bothered. You might wake up on the wrong side of the bed one day and go, Christ, I've got to do this today.
Yeah, and there was
a bit of times like that,
bit of a balance, really. So I 100% appreciated all the sort of offers of support of wanting to come on a run. But there was definitely a balancing act of thinking, right, today I just need to get out there, put my headphones in and not really have anyone to worry about.
Okay.
Especially as it was small talk and it was kind of the same questions every day. And it did get tiring. If I'm 20 miles in and someone's like, oh, you all right, can I join in?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you have for breakfast? And I'm like, I just need to finish this next hour.
Yeah.
So it was trying to find the balance of zoning in on your own, but also mixing it up.
It's tricky because for them, that's their first time meeting.
Oh, exactly. That's
But for you, that's the 15th time you've asked that question, answered the question this way.
Yeah. It's got to wear down your patience.
It is wear down.
As much as you really want to be able to respond, you're locked into what you've got to do.
Yeah, sometimes it's a grind, isn't it?
Often it wasn't even just questions about sort of the daily runs. It would be, questions about my brother and questions about my experience with suicide, which I'm 100% open to talk about. But for every day, for 6 months straight, it got a bit challenging. Trying to talk about that every day so openly when there was days where I just don't want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest, if you did do it in an unknown area, that might have been easier than what you've just done. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got 2 challenges on your hands here.
Yeah.
It's the people around you asking the questions and you feeling like you've got to give back and answer the questions.
That's what I mean, though. So now that I know that,
on top of that,
it just sounds all the more harder.
It does sound all the harder, yeah.
So there was definitely, that's why I kind of describe it as you had the physical actual journey of managing the body, managing injuries. Weight loss was a really big concern. I mean, I didn't have much weight to lose, to be honest.
So how many calories would you be burning out?
So I was probably burning about 3,000 a day. And then on top of like just your active normal calories. So my aim was to try and get 5,000 calories a day.
Okay.
And when you've got only pockets of time and windows of opportunity.
Only pockets of time. And I always say, like, we could all in this room go out tomorrow and eat 5,000 calories.
Yeah.
But to do it day after day for 19, 20 weeks is when it becomes difficult.
Aye, because it upsets your your gut system and stuff like that. Because wasn't it? I think it was Steve Redgrave, the rower.
Yeah.
I think he became diabetic after the fact.
Right.
So he'd finished all of his life worth of rowing because they were just banging gels back all of the time.
Yeah.
But you get used to that. But then your body, I think he became diabetic because of all of the calorie intake of what he was doing. Because I think they were, it's not like Phelps. I think Phelps was like 10,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean,
something like that,
stuff,
which is
really.
nuts. But five's quite a lot.
It's
when
a
you
lot,
look at the food that 5 is, it is a lot. Especially because you don't want anything heavy because you got to get out and run.
And you've got to time it for your runs.
Yeah.
And if I'm in meetings at work all day, it's like...
But you got to go to work and all.
Yeah. So it was definitely challenging. Yeah. And there was the physical journey of getting through all that and then of the emotional journey as well of dealing with this grief that I hadn't really dealt with really prior to starting these marathons.
Okay.
So it was kind of two separate journeys along the 128 days.
Was that grief like popping up as you were doing the activity?
Definitely, I think so, because every day I was doing it for Conor, really. That was the whole purpose of it, was for him. So, every day I wasn't just going out for a run, la-di-da, listening to music. It was like, it had a real purpose every single time I left the door. And I was reminded of that every day. So it was difficult. I don't want to sugarcoat. I don't want to make it seem harder than it was, but every day was a challenge. I don't think I ever finished one day and thought, oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
I was going to say, was there ever a point of where you wobbled?
Yeah, probably. So there was one day in particular, I was working down in Kent and I was working away and it was just one night. So the day before that, the day that I went down, did my half marathon in the morning, got the train down, did my half marathon in the evening, that was fine. The next day I had all day on the power station, and then I had a train home at about 5 p.m. So I had to get up early in the morning before I went to work to get as many miles in as I could.
So you were having to do it. You had a set thing.
So I actually slept in. I didn't get up till about 5, and I had to leave for about 7:20. So I didn't have enough time to get enough miles in. I went out for my run. It was the worst weather that I had throughout the whole challenge. So I was running in like hail and wind. And I think I only did about 10 miles before I went to work. So I went to work. I was like, right, thinking about it all day. Got the train back from London, back to Newcastle. I didn't get home till about 9:30. So I got through my door at 9:30. I had 16 miles to do. And I was running along. And I was looking at the time, and I think I finished my run at like 11:58, 2 minutes before midnight. And my dad actually came with me because he runs, and he was like, "You need to hurry up. You're not going to get it before midnight." Because it was a marathon a day.
Right.
So he was like concerned that I wasn't going to do it.
That's what I mean.
I was thinking, with work, holy crap.
So
What happens if there was like an accident on the train? Do you know what I mean?
that's what he was saying.
Like
That's
that.
what he was saying. But I just had to wing it. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad that day because I'd set myself up to do it. But I got back about midnight, had some food, went to bed for about 1, and then I was back up at 5:30 to do another half marathon because then I was back at work the next day.
Starting again, right?
So then it was just, I had a right wobble after that because trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
So that was definitely some of the bad patches.
It's those things that throw you off, because if you were here all of the time, that's at least you can dial the same thing into a routine. But if you've got to factor in traveling and stuff like that,
Moving around,
that's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you definitely know that 9 o'clock, you don't want to go and running.
No, definitely
Sure,
not.
you wanna
I
eat.
mean, geez,
Yeah.
couldn't have thought of anything worse, but had to do it. That's what I'd set out to do. And
Yeah.
Was everybody always supportive, or was there anybody at any point going, "Come on, this is you've done enough"?
Everyone was always supportive. At the beginning, everyone was like, if you can't do it and you have to quit, it's okay. You've tried, you've done your best. That was kind of the gist that family and loved ones were given, because I think deep down they thought, he's not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
He's going to have to quit.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that Lewis is going to be okay when he does quit, because they probably genuinely thought wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
But then, everyone was so supportive. I mean, my parents were making me food, putting it in the freezer, making sure everything was there.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, who's now my fiance, would be making food at home. So when I come home, it's ready. Just making things time efficient.
Yeah.
My fiance's parents would be making me like freshly pressed juices with beetroot and turmeric and ginger to try and help with inflammation. So it was a team effort, really.
Yeah.
Imagine they're all in the kitchen like a lab.
Come on.
Enough calories and something else. Let's squeeze this thing in. Do you know what I mean? It needs more.
literally
It
was,
needs more. Yeah. It's like a production line.
It is,
Like a bunch of
completely,
minions kind of following you around. That would be easy, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it though? Yeah.
My fiance's mum started making loads of chia pudding because apparently chia seeds are really calorific.
Yeah.
So it's just like a production line of all this food. Send it to
They're
Lewis.
researching on the internet. And like, all right, what can we get on them? What's light enough for calorific deficit time?
that's
Hey,
exactly
drink
it.
this olive oil. You know what I mean? It's got to be like
What
that.
an effort. What an effort, though.
It's such a feat, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to get my head around it, to be honest. Because I hadn't even factored in that timing thing.
No?
Yeah,
2 minutes to midnight.
that's it. Cut off.
that's a
you
big
failed,
deal.
Yeah.
But your dad's shouting at you. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
going along the seafront. He's like, "You're not going to do it." I was
Yeah.
I am.
So was he running along, or was he on a bike?
No, he was running. He's a good runner, to be fair.
Okay.
He's 58 now, but he's probably the reason that I run. He take me along to a running club when I was like 10 years old.
Oh, so that's how you started?
That's kind of how I got into it. Yeah,
Okay.
just through him,
Yeah.
and just did it ever since.
Yeah.
And probably will continue.
Just
to
as
do
a
so.
hobby, though, were you doing competitions and
I
stuff
do
as well?
competitions. I mean, I was never the fastest by any means. I mean, I do maybe county level and things like that, but nothing nationally. But I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Do cross countries through school and track events through my local club.
So you're the person that liked cross country at school then?
I'm that sad bastard.
He's nice.
Was the worst as well.
Yeah. Wasn't doing more than 2 laps on that track, was there? You know what I mean? It's kind of short bursts. Keep it short bursts. Was your brother into running as well?
No, not really, to be honest. So we were probably quite opposite in that sense. So
Okay.
I was very, I'd arguably say ADHD, couldn't sit still, constant exercise needed, constant entertainment. Whereas he was very creative, and as kids he could just sit at the dining table and paint and draw and write. I'd be crawling the walls. So
Yeah.
running was definitely a bit of a way to get my energy out of me.
Yeah.
Were you close as well?
Yeah, we're close. So we're
Because age was quite a slim
about
gap.
3.5 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 to 3.5 years. So quite a small gap, really, and lived in the same house up until the point that he passed. So we'd spend every day together,
Right,
really.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're close as brothers, and quite a close knit family as well. Because with my parents being Scottish, all our family lives in Scotland. So we're the only sort of family members in England, really. So all birthdays, Christmases. I mean, people would come down and visit, but it was often the four of us.
Mostly in Glasgow as well. Most of your family is it?
Most families in Glasgow,
Yeah.
yeah, and then sort of spread around the rest of Scotland. So
Lewis, I know you don't want to pry, but was there any signs or anything like that? Was there any build up to this or not?
no build up at all.
Because it's really strange. I know we talk about it a lot, but lots of times nobody knows.
Nobody
and I've heard so many stories of happy-go-lucky people, and it just happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is a reactive thing, I think, is what blokes do.
Yeah, and it's definitely something to do with young guys. I think, there's a bit of that, like you say, reactive thing, and it's not really thinking it through the whole process of what someone's about to do.
It's a dark patch.
Quite impulsive, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like a computer game where you get 3 lives, is it?
Exactly.
It's kind of, once that's done, it's done, but it's sort of, I'm just trying to figure it out, because I'm always intrigued to know if there is anything.
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
know what I mean? And
for
was
us
it
as a
surprise
family,
for you,
yeah, for us as a family, we had no idea. It was a total surprise. I mean,
Yeah.
I went to bed one night with a brother and woke up the next morning without one, and just world fell apart, really, and had no inclination that was something that was going through Conor's
So his
head.
behaviour
or
hadn't changed
no
at all, it was
behaviour,
just-
no behavioural changes.
Yeah.
No sort of reach out for support. No, nothing really. So it was a total shock.
That's how it often happens. So I mean, I've brought it up on here before. I lost a best friend in 2009 who committed suicide, and he had a couple of stress moments. He was always very laid back, and he had a couple of moments of stress at work. He wasn't sleeping very well, but other than that, he was just exactly the same person.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere. In fact, he got better at what looking back on it now, he got better at masking it over time. And it was only when you start to pick it apart, you start to think of what the factors could have been and all that.
And you can often fall into that as well. Once you have lost someone to suicide, you start to pick things apart and think, oh God, could I have done something? Could I have noticed that? Or could I have realised that? And it's a spiral downwards, really. And you do
totally.
have to kind of...
And there's too many variables that you can't ever have understood.
There is, because everybody, especially parents and stuff like that, and family members, they try and fix, and if they can't fix, they say it as a failure.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, and it really is on that person as well. It's a tough one, isn't it? It really is a tough one, because sometimes there aren't any signs, and there's so many variables and stories. I don't know what the statistics are, so apologies, Shane, from not a statistic. He said it's something about it leaves of a mark on 140 odd people. It's not just the people around you.
I've seen that statistic before.
The police, the nurses, everybody else that comes after the fact that has to deal and manage with life after that or during that. The amount of people that it kind of impacts in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
But
I think just even having these open conversations can often encourage people to do the same and to talk about how they're feeling, and that can prevent that spiral downwards. And you never know what it might prevent down the line. So,
but it's hard when you can't see it and somebody going, I think you need to talk to somebody, because if you can't see it, then you can't action that and actually see that somebody needs help.
Yeah.
It's just so hard. It really is so hard, because there's no science. So how can you help somebody with no science?
Yeah, it's difficult, really, and there's sometimes not an answer, really.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think
that's the stark thing, isn't it? As humans, we're searching for the fix.
Everybody looking for a fix.
And I guess the tragedy of it all is that the fix is us becoming more comfortable talking about it, because sometimes there's not a preventative fix at times. No. So being open and honest and having the sort of courage to talk about it openly is the only thing we can do.
Mm-hmm. And what's your plans now then? Because clearly you continue on this.
Yeah.
And
so
what are you moving on to?
I mean, when I was doing the marathons, when I was deep in the marathons, I told myself I am never doing anything like this ever again for as long as I
I
live.
bet,
You
yeah.
are. As soon as the day stops.
You got to burn your running shoes and that.
But well, I was close to it.
Ceremony, yeah.
But I have continued doing a little bit of running, and me realizing even just on the final day the amount of people that were there.
Okay.
Who I had no idea who they were, but they just came along because they'd been affected by suicide, or they felt connected to the story, and they really were impacted by what I was sharing. I even had a guy on Instagram who said, I've got no impact by suicide, no experience with suicide, but from what you've done, I'm now going to check in on my parents and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even just little things like that have made me realize that, these endurance events are impactful, and they do really, really make a difference. So I've started doing a few like little public speaking gigs in local schools and things like that.
Yeah, I saw you reach out saying, "Look, if you want any public speakers, I'm happy to come in." So
really keen to continue to share my story, really, and continue talking about Conor, because it's not only nice for me, but you don't know who it's going to help out there. So with me running the equivalent distance to Newcastle and New York, I've also been invited to do the New York Marathon.
Bro.
So that's, I guess, the next step in my sort of running journey, but also grief as well. Like, if you asked me 6 months ago, would you ever go to New York? I would never in a million years go, ever, for as long as I live, and I'd be quite happy with it.
Yeah.
But having done the marathons, then got the opportunity to go, and it just feels like the next step, really. So that's kind of what I'm planning next in terms of running, a bit of sort of growth and sort of from that side of things. Never say never for another big challenge, but at the moment there's nothing in the pipeline.
okay.
Give my body and my mind some time to rest. I think.
Completely. I know, because sometimes people do these things, and because it's such a big thing, you find a purpose in this.
Yeah.
Then you'll go, well, I want to continue this because this is where I want my life to be.
Yeah.
And there's I know there's opportunities from that, but doesn't it seem to be that that's where you're headed? That's not where you want to be.
I mean, so there is a lot of people out there that do these big endurance challenges, and it's often. So for me, it was never how big can I go, or can I prove that I can do it. For me, it was always about Conor. So I think often people do a big challenge, and then it's like, right, what's the next best?
Yeah.
What's the next bigger one that I can do? I don't think I'll ever do anything bigger. My purpose that I've now found is that, if I continue sharing my message, that it's massive for people to hear.
Yeah.
And, for me to hear other people's experience of suicide helps me. And so, in terms of another big challenge, I'm not sure.
And that makes loads of sense.
Yeah.
Your purpose was to shine a light on that story. It wasn't about
The actual
extremism or the scale of the.
Because sometimes it grows into that.
It does.
You do another one, we can get a book deal. Then do you know what I mean? It's this. That world gravitates and latches onto you like limpets. Do you know what I mean? And
definitely.
Have you seen it? And have you went? You seem very confident in who you are.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you haven't jumped on the bandwagon. Do you know what I mean? Because this could easily happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd never say never. If there was, maybe do a smaller challenge where I can continue raising money for charity and continue talking about Conor, I would definitely do it. I haven't really seen that too much, to be honest. I mean, the documentary that I'm planning to put together is more just like me and my camera.
Because you've got some footage, why not?
Got some footage, and it'd be a nice sort of memento for the family to keep, and for me to look back on, for kids to watch when I'm older. So that's kind of where that goes. And I'm just keen to continue sharing what I'm doing and just documenting my journey with grief and my journey with running as well.
So how did the fundraising go then? Who were you raising for?
So I was raising for If You Care Share, which is suicide prevention charity and sort of bereavement support to families in the Northeast, and also the RNLI.
Yeah.
So given the sort of nature that I lost Conor to, that was more of a thank you for their help. So at the beginning I thought, well, I'll try and raise 5,000 for each charity. And I genuinely at the time thought, God, well, get friends, get family, might get there. I think within like 2 weeks we had 10 grand.
Really?
And then I was starting to think, bloody hell, I might get to 20 here. So I was saying to my girlfriend, fiance now, do you think we'll get 20? And she was like, oh, I'm not sure. Got to 20. So basically, eventually end up raising about £90,000.
90,000?
which including gift aid, which is part of Just Giving, it's over 100,000.
That makes a massive difference to those charities.
Which is bonkers, yeah. So I think for If You Care Share, it was about 60, 65, and then for the RNLI about 35. So for a charity of the size of If You Care Share, it's a phenomenal amount of money for them to go and do some really, really good work.
It is.
And I was really keen. There's loads of fantastic charities out there that work nationally, and my thought process was that although they're great charities to raise money for, it'll immediately leave the Northeast.
Yeah, which often happens with a lot of these big charities.
So I was really keen on picking someone where that money will then go back into the Northeast.
Yeah, but it's impactful, plus you can see it, and you can see the impact as well.
Definitely.
Plus you can keep up with that. And if you need to do something, and it's kind of, you're growing a community in yourself, by the actions that you've done. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and If You Care Share are sort of going to take me along on the journey and say, look, where would you like to see funding spent? How would you like this money to be spent? Would it be schools, education, community officers? So it's really cool for me to now sort of have not a decision making, but just be brought along on the journey, and all that effort and all that money that I've raised, I now get to see actually.
Are you going to document that as well? Are you going to put that in the pot?
Yeah, definitely. I just sort of keep documenting what I'm doing, and I think it's a really cool way to share how the challenge evolved into what it has.
Yeah. Because a lot of times people set up a foundation in the name of, and then they kind of continue doing that thing.
Yeah.
But clearly you have a day job, and
got a day job.
Enjoy the day job as well.
I do enjoy the day job, and I'm incredibly busy. So even when I was doing the marathons, any media opportunities I had to use annual leave for. So often if BBC Look North wanted to do a little segment, it would be they're not going to do outside of work times because they also have their working hours. So I would be taking annual leave. Any opportunities to go to London, I'd use annual leave. So I am very busy and can't just be taking time off work. And I was really keen that the challenge would never impact work. Going forward, I am still got a day job, but doing things like this, podcasts, going down to London for a podcast next week. I'm just keen, any opportunity that comes my way, I'll take it, and wherever it takes me, I'll run with it, really. So
you seem to
get that run with it thing in the end, don't you?
Pardon the pun.
You seem to handle the attention quite well. It's sort of, you feel very comfortable in front of cameras and in front of mics and talking and interviewing. Does it just come naturally to you?
No, not really. And I think if you look back at some of my earlier videos from day one, doing the marathons, I was definitely uncomfortable in front of the camera. And I think that was also just every day I was speaking in front of the camera, and every day I was talking about this subject. And it's probably just an element of practice, really, where I've been doing it every day, talking about it. And it also highlights the change in person that I am, that I'm now able to sit here with two people that I've met today and share my experience. Whereas if you dragged me in here 8 months ago, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. So
you've grown in lots of different ways,
in
just
so
through
many
that
different
process.
ways. Yeah, just from. I mean, I'm not suggesting anyone who wants to get over a loss of a loved one to run 128 marathons, but that journey definitely has helped me come to terms with what happened.
But
And your family as well?
My family as well. My mum and dad, 1,000,000%. I mean, we'll sit at the dinner table and talk about Conor now, whereas perhaps 6 months ago, truthfully, we probably wouldn't. And not because we didn't want to, but because, like you said, it's the elephant in the room, and it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about. So
it must feel like such a weight for them, though. That's a long time.
Definitely.
To carry grief without speaking about it.
Definitely.
It's a long, long time.
But it was a hard process as well. I mean, especially for mum and dad, for me to go out there and share the story of Conor.
Yeah.
It's difficult for parents to see that out there. And I always think there's a bit of a generational thing as well, definitely to do with suicide.
Yeah.
So I don't feel any shame whatsoever that my brother took his own life.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. I don't feel like any of my friends or anyone sort of my generation would ever have that viewpoint on a family, whereas I think generationally,
I think you're right, yeah.
There's definitely an element of there is a bit of shame, and I think I've managed to break that down, and now there's almost an element of pride, because this success story of the marathons although it is me, it's also Conor. It's his name is behind it, and it's all about him. So it's almost morphed what was a bit of shame into pride, really. So it's
I mean, that's
pretty special.
You just can't. You couldn't overestimate the importance of that, though. That you've took ownership of his story, you know, and that his life didn't have to be defined by that one moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It helps you get over that hurdle.
definitely.
I think sometimes it's just getting out of your comfort zone, and sometimes it's being forced out of your comfort zone to accept it. And I think it's the acceptance. It's always acceptance. That's what I find with everybody who's gone through anything.
Yeah.
There's a weight that lifts off your shoulders when you just go, all right, it's happened. I can't change the past.
Yeah, definitely. And just try and look towards what I can do. And, you know, it took me 6 years to really be able to even find myself in the position to be able to do something like this. So it's a long, long journey of ups and downs. And I'm sure there's tough days ahead. But from where I was maybe 2 years ago, I'm definitely in a better place, and I'd put that down to the fundraising challenge.
So where do you, obviously you've got your New York coming up. That seems like it's just a walk in the park. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Pun intended.
you say that, but I would like to do myself some justice, so I'd like to give it a good whack.
Yeah, you're going to go do it 3 times or something.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I'll definitely do it as fast as I can. So I've set a target of 2:45.
Okay, so your time.
That's locked in now. 2:45.
I've already put it out there. I've already regretted putting it out there. And I'm also doing the Great North Run.
Okay.
So I quite like it because I've done sort of Newcastle and New York virtually. I've ran the equivalent distance, but now I'm doing like Great North Run in Newcastle in September. And I'm doing the New York Marathon in November. So it's almost like a little mini Newcastle and New York.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
So I'm doing those 2 races. Yeah.
Well, I'll see you at the finish line on the Great North Run because I'm not, but we're in the middle of production. We're making a documentary about Drew Graham. Drew Graham, he opened up Gym Possible, which is the only disability gym in the Northeast, and him and 7 of his team members are pushing him in his wheelchair and looking to break the world record this year at the Great North Run.
I know some of them.
So I'm making a documentary about it. Like there's Ryan and Matt and all of the other lads. I met half the lads and his brother Jonathan as well, who's kind of
they've done it every year. I think
they've done it, but they've got a special chair this year.
Right.
But they're going for the record. They're going for a certain time. Sorry, Joe, I don't know what time it is. I think
they're all fast lads,
75 or something like that. But they've just done a 10K with 3 of them, and they were knocking out some good times.
Yeah,
you know?
they're all fast lads.
Yeah. So it's kind of that as well. It's like swapping over, pushing a chair and running at a race pace. That's quite a feat in itself, isn't it? So
definitely, yeah. I know there's a guy that lives down where I am, and he's always pushing a buggy along the coast. And he's flying along. I'm like, you're going to give that kid whiplash. I have to tell him, see him out all the time. He's like zooming along, but he says it's extra training.
Yeah.
It definitely makes it more challenging.
But it's a completely different thing, isn't it? Pushing it, and they've got a spare runner as well, who's actually going to do the filming for part of the documentary.
Oh, cool.
So that's what they've got going. I mean, the whole thing's been, they've got kids sponsored by Puma. It's so it's become this big thing. But the whole documentary is around people who are able-bodied and now disabled, which is what happened with Drew. So you probably know his story. I mean, and he was a champion runner.
Yeah.
And seeing footage of him when he was a champion runner, and he always won on the last 800. He used to
watching those
everybody.
clips were just incredible.
It's phenomenal to see. Yeah. Nobody could beat him on the straights. So that was his power, you know.
Yeah.
But he fails because he couldn't do it for the first few years, and his dad was like, go on, do it. He's like, no, because he just didn't want to be that. He didn't want people taking pity on him. But then he did it, and he got that thing back. He got that essence back, even though he was in a chair. It's just something about,
I've seen it a couple of times,
you know?
and it is really cool, the sort of camaraderie that they've all got to get round. It's pretty special.
Yeah. So running with just running by yourself and then doing that, I think it's going to be good to see how many people are doing it. And even Abby, who's in the documentary, she did it for the first time last year, and it's just getting the bug. She's never done it, and the first time she's ever done the Great North Run was in a wheelchair. You're like pushing yourself in a wheelchair. But it's unbelievable, isn't it? They kind of what people will endure and go through, like you've just done.
Yeah.
Just for that kind of that goal, that aim. There's something at the end of this, you know.
Definitely. I mean, there's so many people out there now doing all these crazy, wonderful challenges, and it's all for fantastic reasons. And there's often something deeper than. So for me, I set out to raise money for charity and do it in memory of my brother. But there's always something deeper down that people want to solve. And for me, it was the sort of grief journey. And you always see people out there doing these amazing endurance challenges, and often they finish it as a sort of better, stronger person, have solved lots of problems.
And sometimes they don't even realise what they're trying to solve.
No, and I think that was the case for me as well.
Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you kind of realise like halfway through the journey, or was it like, was an epiphany moment? There probably isn't. It's probably just like a gradual.
Yeah, it was definitely gradual. I think it was just more as I was seeing people online, people in the street were saying to me like, oh, you know, what you've done has really helped me. And that's when I started to realise that I'm not only sort of helping myself, I'm helping other people. And I always say, if there's one person that's been impacted positively by the challenge, that's bigger than any money I could have ever raised. You know, if one person said, you've really helped me through the past couple of months just watching your daily videos, I couldn't, £1 million wouldn't top that.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, really. So
Okay.
I don't think there was ever like an epiphany moment where I thought, oh wow, this has turned into something that I didn't think it would. It was very much gradual, where I started to slowly realise what it was morphing into.
Yeah.
I think menu. I mean,
I think I do as well.
Yeah, for me, I mean, you've
Got to be intrigued by this.
I'm intrigued by this because we've got some menu questions which we ask.
Right.
And you pick, but I mean, we could go down a few rabbit holes on what.
Do you have the calories written next to each one?
That's what I mean. I know. How many calories are in this?
Yes.
So pick anything from there. We always do the Greg's order last. So pick anything from the menu. Just shout them out because we know what they are.
So one from each.
Anything
you want. You can start
anywhere.
You can go anywhere. We'll keep explaining this. We haven't set this up well, but we'll just keep going with it because we're not going to change it.
I'll do hot and cold.
All right.
Because I'm funny with hot and cold food.
Right, great.
I am too. You are.
I am
but we're
quite
different.
particular. But
I'm very particular.
The thing is, I always liken this to desserts because that's the best hot and cold combo ever. Do you know what I mean? For example, you've got a nice apple crumble, hot, and then you've got a nice dollop of cold vanilla ice cream. Perfect combo. What's your thing?
What's my hot and cold combo?
What's your weirdness about it?
What's your weirdness about it? What do you think?
Mine's less so combos, and it's when people eat food that should be hot and they eat it cold.
Like what?
Cold pizza. Can't do it.
Can you not?
That's supposed to be hot.
I'm on board.
Isn't that a really good interpretation of that question?
It is, yeah. Because
Not had that before.
It's like cold pasta. Can't do it.
I can't do cold pasta.
It's all claggy. My wife could actually retch at the sight of cold bean juice. Do you know what I mean?
Couldn't do that.
Definitely not. What about custard? Because that's hit and miss.
I do like a bit of custard. So this is a funny one because throughout the challenge, people used to say, "What's your go-to meal? Or what's your go-to snack that would really sort of top up the calories?" And it was apple crumble and custard. Every single day.
On point.
My girlfriends and I would make me batches of like loads and loads of crumble.
Yeah.
And it would just be smothered in ambrosia custard.
Oh, nice to say.
And
Nana's crumble and all. Like,
that was what kept me going.
Custard hot.
Custard. No, I'd actually have the custard cold. So maybe I'm going against.
That's my favourite. See, that's my favourite. Custard cold on the hot crumble.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard anyone go for like a cold custard.
Cold custard.
You're an absolute savage. You know what I mean? He puts curry and gravy on chips, this fella. You know what I mean?
Both.
This is both, see? What about you?
Try it. I'm a curry.
You're a curry man, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so fish and chips.
Curry.
Because we were talking to Keith earlier on. Keith's like, sacrilege, you don't put anything on that. You just go salt and vinegar. Or you're a curry.
All over and ketchup.
And ketchup with a curry.
Oh, yeah.
Really, on top of, yeah? Are you salt and vinegar as well?
Salt and vinegar as well.
Just everything.
Yeah,
and batter.
And batter.
That might take a lad. Love that. See,
This is where we have to go after this.
layers of flavour, isn't it? Layers of flavour.
It is layers of flavour, but, you know, because we're always like, but if you have it on a pot, you can control it from the side of like per chip.
But where's the jeopardy in that?
There's no jeopardy in that, but what's the last chip? Because you want the last one to have all the best stuff on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just going to be floating in vinegar, surely, is it?
Yeah, I guess I smother the fish and then dip the chips. So I'm maybe a bit of
nice.
half and half.
All right, okay. So it's all over the top of the fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Might
Try
have.
it. Try a new strategy.
I'm going to try it.
chip strategy. It's
The
later
Nashville
on.
chip strategy.
Well, we talked to Richard Coleman. Shout out Richie Chips.
Richie Chips.
That's his nickname, Richie Chips. And he prefers sitting down because I think it's where you eat the thing as well, you know. So
Right.
he's sitting down and he's got it all like
Isn't it his Monday
pots and
habit?
laid up and everything. He's like mushy peas. He's got the
Tartar
gravy, tartar
sauce.
sauce. He's got everything. Do you know what I mean? And then what they do is they put the gravy,
Oh, this is a
vinegar in a
brilliant tip.
sprayer bottle so it dissipates evenly.
Well, that's now we're talking
It's another
strategy.
level, isn't it?
Yeah, that's another level. That.
But that's a good idea.
I've just got an
isn't it?
image of him hanging the chips on like a washing line, so they're all like.
Just evenly done.
Equally covered. Yeah.
Just flicking salt at him. Like that salt big guy. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So we've gone through that. What's the after this run? We've got to ask this. After
Oh
the
yes,
run,
that's a good question.
what were you? That must have been the day of. What did you eat? I want
When
to know.
I finished the final
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, what did you go for?
we went to Miller and Carter.
Did you?
Okay.
Yeah. So me and because I should really say on the final run I proposed to my girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, I
that.
saw that.
My family, my fiance and my fiance's family all went to Miller and Carter
Right.
and got like a big steak. I can't even remember. Is it a Côte de Boeuf?
Yeah.
Where it's the
Yes.
sharing board.
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
And it was
Yeah.
like a slice of every cut of meat.
Nice.
It
Yeah,
was pretty good. Like
that was good.
yeah,
Yeah.
peppercorn sauce,
That's my go-to as well.
beef dripping gravy.
I mean, come
Oh,
on.
it was
Yeah.
the works.
And then what else did you have on?
And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I don't even know if I had a pint. I think I might have had one pint because I didn't drink throughout the whole thing. So I had a pint, but I didn't even fancy it. I was just all for the food.
Yeah.
Nice pint of Coke, and then I did have a beer, but I was more focused on the food.
Did it stop there, or did you like keep going? What was it?
Then we had brownies, and then what did I think I had to stop there. I think I was cabbage by that point. I couldn't go on.
Because it's too much all in one,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
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 No,
Not like Joe's effort.
Oh my word, Joe! It's Arrow. Shout out, Joe. Joe, he lost loads of weight for an MMA fight, you
Right.
know, which he just did to practice because him and his gym partner Steve, they're going to have a fight this year for Movember. So they're
Right.
training all year jiu-jitsu to have a tournament.
Yeah.
So just so he knows what it's like to sit in a competition, he lost weight to do a competition. And he got gold. Right. So you know the mindset of this fella. But the day he can finally eat after losing all this weight and making weight for the fight was just, it was, you'll have
Heard
to watch
nothing
the
like
clip.
it.
The
Heard
clip
nothing like
was-
it.
Nothing.
Did he pile it away? Did he?
Oh,
You've
I
never
mean,
heard anything like it.
ate his breakfast, ate his. Was it Easter? Was it chocolate eggs? He
Chocolate
ate his
egg at
kids'
like
packed
9 in the morning,
lunch.
kids' packed lunch, went to his nana's. I had the kid didn't eat the food, had that sandwich, then went
Came
out for
here,
the night.
had a 3-course Sunday lunch.
Went a Sunday lunch, then he had something else when he
Went
got
to Marks and Spencer's, bought a
This was
litre of
like a
ice cream.
12-hour eating fest all
Bloody
day,
hell.
right? It was
But
unbelievable.
he said he had a 6-egg omelette, then had a Cadbury's cream egg to keep up the egg theme.
I just
I
wanted
don't
like,
think I could beat that one.
yeah,
I did have some days where I was piling the food away, but it was more like little and often.
Yeah.
And I kept eating to the point of physically wanting to be sick.
Yeah.
And I had to be careful because I was close to vomiting at times. So I just had to go with what my body would accept.
because I think sometimes you want to, but you can't get it in because
Yeah,
you get used to
definitely.
like these little and often stuff. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let's go for another one, and we'll probably ask a couple in there. Let's go for something else on there, and then we'll do a Greg's at the end. It's nice, I like this.
Right.
Cold custard, mine. Surprised about that.
Have it. It's nice.
Oh, I've had it. Didn't worry about that.
Right, I'm gonna go for pop.
Fat Dan's eating that.
This is
Why the pop?
still linked to the running Pop Man. I'm guessing it means fizzy drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we were kids,
Well,
we
are
had
you
a
too
guy-
young to remember the
Yeah.
Pop Man or not? I don't
No.
know.
They used to get delivery of pop
Yeah.
round like the milkman.
And then you
But-
give them back the glass bottles.
Yeah.
I only
Give 'em
know
up.
through my parents.
So
yeah.
your parents were old enough to shout out your parents. But yeah, that used to be a thing, but it was because it was so good to us because we got like cherry 8, pineapple 8 ice cream. So because you couldn't get that, your mother wasn't
And the
buying that in
80s and
shop.
early 90s, soft drinks weren't really that normalised. You couldn't go to the shop and just buy. I mean, you might get Coke to a degree,
And one of your
but it
mates,
wasn't a huge thing.
might add a soda stream. So are you a pop guy or not?
Oh, massively.
Are
oh,
you?
yeah.
Massively.
Really? Even
Massively.
being a runner, I thought you'd be like just water and stuff.
So the reason I picked that because often I'd get to the end of the run And it's when I get closer to the end, I start to think about what I'm going to get when I get in.
All right.
And it'll get me through.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to think, right, I'll get a nice hot bath. What will I start to eat? What will I
planning it in
drink?
your head.
Starting to plan it.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
often the first go-to is a can of pop.
Really?
Yeah. What is it?
So full fat Coke is the one.
Yeah.
That really does hit the spot.
Yeah.
Iron Brew
Okay.
is a go-to. Got to
It's
stick to the Scottish
Glaswegian
roots.
thing.
Yeah.
I was going to try and say girders there, but
And I think recently as well, I'm a Fanta Fruit Twist.
really,
That's my 3.
that's a departure from Iron
Yeah.
Brew and
Yeah.
yeah,
It is, huh?
Yeah.
the contemporary twist.
And there's
on
one
it.
there's at the top of my parents' street. They've got a taco shop called Lobo Rojo.
I
There's
know,
a few
yeah.
kicking around,
Yeah.
and they serve these Mexican soft drinks, and they're called Jarritos.
Yes, I've had them before.
And they've got a pineapple one.
Yeah, had it.
Holy shit!
Honestly,
Really?
they're amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
So what's in that then? What makes it special?
Crack. Yeah, honestly, it's unbelievable.
Some kind of magic
So if there was a
formula.
top one, that's it. But that's a special occasion.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had that with the pineapple and the orange one as well. It's lovely.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Like it's
What's
pure
that?
sugar.
It is.
pure
It's
sugar.
pure sugar.
Is that what it is?
Just, yeah.
Because apparently, like, you go to Mexico, the Fanta's better or something like that because the sugar content. Like, it's like proper
Yeah.
sugar cane sugar.
Yeah.
It's
Ah,
not
right.
just like refined, so it's a different.
Well,
level.
most soft drinks
Same
are
as
like
the
locally
Coke.
made like
Yeah.
that, so they're slightly different.
Yeah.
Aye.
Will just be more sugar. Put that down in one almost. Them on
Yeah,
the
it's
Put it
gone.
down in
They're
one.
gone.
All right, go on.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
No, so if you ever get the chance to experience a pineapple Doritos,
yeah.
I'd highly recommend it.
Oh, I know what to buy for Christmas. Send Nick to the house. All right, Lewis,
Right then.
last question. What's your Greg's order?
Greg's order is, I'm going to go full whack, Mexican chicken oval bite. That's the
Ooh.
sandwich. I'd often get a sausage roll.
Pocket meat.
Pocket
Pocket
meat just
meat,
for on the
that's
road,
it.
aye? Yeah.
Some form of pop
Yeah.
and iced donut.
Okay.
That's probably what I'd go for
Yeah.
most times I go to Greg's.
Okay. You frequent Greg's?
It used to be. When I was at uni, I'd live at Morrison's as part-time, and it was a daily Greg's then.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Aye.
But it was always chicken oval bite, sausage roll, maybe a steak bake,
Yeah.
but often I wouldn't verge from the sort of normal.
Okay.
If I'm there in the morning, sausage sandwich,
Yeah.
go to, and a nice donut as well.
Do you feel you can knock all of this back because you're burning the
Oh,
calories?
yeah.
Aye.
Without any guilt whatsoever.
God, man. Oh, that's fantastic. Must be nice. Like,
I've already
down.
clocked deep north on the way, and I'll be there on the way out.
Get a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Get yourself a donut.
Yeah. And then a pie. to
Get one of
finish off.
size pies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the full trio, okay? Nice. Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you very much
Really
for coming
appreciate
in.
it.
Yeah.
No, thank you for
Lovely
having
stuff.
me.
Thank you very
Really
much.
appreciate it.
Perfect.